Hi Stampers, it's time for another video. This is the October video kit, and we're making a Christmas card this month using a brand new stamp set that has not been revealed yet again, and our micro powders. The stamp set we're using is Holiday Foliage, and we are going to be using the Pine Bough and the sentiment, "Let the spirit of Christmas fill our hearts with love." And you'll receive these two, but then you're also going to get the Deck the Halls, because this is, these two come in one set. So you'll be receiving these three sets. Again, if you want the whole entire stamp set, just leave us a note in the comment section and you'll receive the whole thing at a discount. So let's get back to the card. I'm working with the micro glitters here. They work great with our Tear-ific tape, and what I've done is covered a piece of cardstock, vanilla cardstock, with the Tear-ific tape, and then cut out your Spellbinder's oval. So this piece is already covered with the tape, and all you're going to have to do is peel off the release paper on top to expose the sticker. Then you're going to go ahead and put it on your coffee filter. And in your kit you will receive Cloud 9 micro glitter, and you're going to go ahead and tap a little bit on. It's better not to dump it like the regular glitter, but work in small amounts, and then go ahead and rub it in, burnish it into the tape with your finger. You want to make sure you get it rubbed in real good in all the areas. Okay, and then when you're done, rub off your excess. Make sure you use a Chubby Brush to brush off all your excess, since we're going to be embossing on it. We want it, all the excess off. So brush off your excess, and when you have just a little bit left over, it's easier to put in the bottle, because this is so fine. Okay, so now we're ready to stamp on our glittered panel here. Since this is such a smooth, soft, velvety glitter, it holds the ink well for the embossing powder, and it lets you emboss very nice detail on it. So we're going to take the sentiment stamp and the Versamark ink, and you're going to stamp it with your Versamark just like you would when you're embossing. And go straight down on your oval. And then in your kit you will also receive a small bottle of the Forest Green Detail Embossing Powder. And you're going to go ahead and cover your panel with the Forest Green then. And go ahead and give it a good flick. You should be able to get most of your excess off just by flicking. But if you do have pieces of embossing powder elsewhere, you can go ahead and brush it off with the little detail brush. But usually most of it comes off. And then of course you're going to heat it, because it is an embossing powder. Okay, so that is your glittered sentiment piece. Now we're going to move on to your other embossed panel. You'll receive a green rectangle, and this is actually guacamole cardstock. There's a textured side and a smooth side. I suggest when you're stamping and embossing on a panel, you use the smooth side. So go ahead and start by using your static free bag to break your static on your card. And then we're going to use the Pine Bough and Versamark ink on this one again. And just randomly stamp the Pine Bough on your piece here. And then we're going to emboss it with the Forest Green again. Okay, so we have this panel done, and now we're going to go on to the craft panel, and we're just going to go ahead and use a light brown ink and stamp the pine bough again on this piece. I'm using Desert Sand this time, and you're just going to go ahead and ink it up and randomly stamp on your craft paper. This is just going to give your background a little bit more texture. Give it a little bit more pizzazz. Okay. And now you can put your card together like this, or what I have done is I've added a little bit of distressing to my card, and you can do that by using a dauber. And for the craft piece, I'm going to take the Desert Sand, and I'm just going to daub the ink around the edges just to give it a little bit more of a antique-ier vintage look. So go ahead and go all the way around. And then to give it a little bit more texture or vintage look, we're going to distress the edges. If you have a distressing tool, you can use that, or the edge of a pair of scissors will work well. And all you want to do is rub the cardstock against the blade and rough up the edges of the cardstock. And you can do it just a little bit, or you can do it more. The more pressure you add to the cardstock, the more distressed look you're going to end up with. And you'll see I'm shredding the edges of the cardstock here. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing with my green piece, and I'm going to use Cottage Ivy ink. If you don't have these, but you have a green or brown ink at home, that'll work just as well. And then you've got your pieces, and let's go ahead and assemble the card. We're going to go ahead and put tape on the back of the green panel, and then that is going to get attached to this craft piece over on the side. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put it right over to the edge here, just like that. And then in your kit you'll receive a red scalloped oval that your sentiment goes on. We're going to go ahead and place that down right on the line here, and go ahead and tape that down. And then we're going to go ahead and tie the ribbon around these two pieces where you would like it. I think I'm going to leave mine over a little bit more so you can read the sentiment. And then the sentiment panel is going to go on with dimensional tape right over here like that. Okay, and then all you have to do is put tape on the back of this and put it on your card front. And when you put that piece down, go ahead and, if you want to, roll up your corners and distress it a little bit more on the corners. And then in your kit you'll also receive a vanilla piece on the inside. I stamped the pine bough again in the Versamark and embossed it with the forest green detail, and then sponged the edges with the Cottage Ivy Memento ink and taped that in there. So a nice holiday festive card with a little bit of the new micro glitters. Hope you enjoy this month's kit, and I will see you again next month. Happy stamping!